black man unloading boxes in his own hallway. Boston's new police chief flashes his badge, but his neighbor still dials 911 to report him as an intruder. Within days, the footage is everywhere, and the woman who made that call loses everything. What set this confrontation in motion, and why did a simple move end in scandal? The story begins inside Glendale Arms. Marcus Thompson was 43 when he accepted the job that would put his name in Boston's history books. After 2 decades on the force, he became the city's first black police chief, a role that came with both pride and pressure. His reputation was built on more than his badge. He had overhauled gang units, lowered complaints about police use of force, and spent years earning the trust of neighborhoods that rarely trusted anyone in uniform. The mayor and city council, often divided, stood together to back his appointment. Thompson's decision to move into Glendale Arms was not about status. He chose Unit 412 for its short commute and quiet halls, a place to start fresh after losing his wife. His daughter Maya was away at Howard University, leaving him to fill the silence with boxes and framed photos. To neighbors, he was just another new face in the hallway, moving in with his keys and a stack of memories. Glendale Arms sits just off Commonwealth Avenue, a brick building with faded carpets and a steady turnover of tenants. Teachers, nurses, and city employees fill its 7 stories, but the 4th floor has a reputation, mostly because of Jennifer Morrison in Unit 414. Morrison, 38, managed pharmaceutical sales by day and by night, kept watch over the hallway. Management records show at least 6 formal complaints from her in the year before the incident. Noise after 9 p.m., cooking smells, and unfamiliar delivery drivers. None were ever substantiated, but her emails arrived like clockwork. Other residents remember reminders from building management about respecting boundaries, prompted by her reports. Morrison's vigilance extended beyond the building. At work, human resources warnings documented confrontations with delivery staff and emails flagged as unprofessional for their focus on security risks. The building's cameras were installed 18 months earlier, after a string of mail thefts and anonymous complaints, some traced back to Morrison herself. Grainy CCTV cameras now watch every entrance, elevator, and hallway intersection, ready to capture what happened next. At 6:38 p.m., the hallway outside Unit 412 fell silent, except for the sound of keys and cardboard boxes. Jennifer Morrison stood at the threshold of her apartment, watching Marcus Thompson unlock his door. Her voice cut through the quiet. She said, "Excuse me, can I help you?" Thompson, still holding a framed photo, replied, "I live here. I just moved in last week." Morrison's eyes narrowed. She asked for his apartment number. Her tone clipped. "You look suspicious," she said, her gaze lingering on his hands, his face, the keys. Thompson paused, then asked, "You mean I look black?" He reached into his jacket and produced his Boston police badge, holding it out for her to see. For a moment, Morrison hesitated, her hand hovering above her phone. The badge caught the hallway's fluorescent light, clear, official, impossible to miss. Instead of turning away, Morrison retreated to her own door, phone pressed to her ear. The building's grainy CCTV captured her movements, the quick tap of numbers, the way she watched Thompson through the cracked door as she dialed 911. The dispatcher said, "911, what is your emergency?" Morrison answered, "There is a man I do not recognize at Unit 412. He says he is a cop, but I think the badge is fake. He has keys, he is moving boxes, can you send someone?" The dispatcher pressed for details. If he has keys and boxes, is he a new tenant? Morrison insisted. He just looks suspicious. Within minutes, 2 officers from Thompson's own command received the call about a possible break-in and that the suspect was claiming to be with the Boston Police Department. They reached Glendale Arms at 6:49 p.m. and were briefed by the building superintendent. The officers found Thompson standing in the hallway with badge and lease in hand. They checked his identification, matched it to the chief's official photo, and confirmed his identity on the spot. Thompson showed no surprise. He asked the officers to preserve all evidence, including CCTV footage and the 911 call. He requested a formal investigation into the incident, noting every detail for the record. Down the hall, Morrison waited behind her door as officers knocked and asked her to step out. They confirmed she had seen the badge. One officer explained the seriousness of making a false report, especially when it targets someone who belongs in the building. Morrison's reply was barely audible. The officers documented her statements, reminded her of the possible legal consequences, and left her standing in the doorway, the weight of the evening settling in. Every moment from the confrontation to the call was recorded, creating an official record that would soon reach far beyond the walls of Glendale Arms. The superintendent's decision to copy the building's CCTV footage set off a chain reaction that reached far beyond Glendale Arms. By 7:30 the next morning, a local reporter had the video, a silent, grainy record of Jennifer Morrison confronting Marcus Thompson and then making her 911 call, despite his badge. Within hours, Channel 5's midday broadcast ran the story alongside a still from the footage. Social media picked it up almost instantly, and the story went viral. The hashtag #ChiefWhileBlack trended on Twitter by noon. In 6 hours, the video had been viewed 120,000 times. Online sleuths quickly identified Morrison, posting her name, photo, and employer details across multiple platforms. Her LinkedIn profile was flooded with angry comments. Calls and emails poured into her company's Human Resources Department demanding action. Morrison's employer, a pharmaceutical firm, responded within a day. By the end of the week, she was suspended pending review. Internal documents surfaced, revealing a pattern of previous human resources warnings for confrontational behavior and repeated complaints about delivery staff. The company released a statement citing its commitment to diversity and inclusion and confirming Morrison's termination for conduct inconsistent with our values. Glendale Arms management faced its own wave of pressure. Tenant emails and a petition from the building's association demanded Morrison's eviction. Management offered her a voluntary lease termination, but the tenant group called for immediate removal. News vans parked outside the building, and residents fielded interview requests from every major outlet in Boston. Morrison issued a lawyer-drafted apology, referencing unconscious bias and a commitment to seek counseling. The statement did little to stem the backlash. Civil rights groups called for further accountability, and the mayor's office condemned the misuse of emergency services for racially motivated suspicion. The NAACP released a statement saying, "Consequences must be real and lasting, or this dangerous pattern will repeat." Chief Marcus Thompson filed a civil suit for defamation and emotional distress, citing the Fair Housing Act. The evidence, CCTV, the 911 call, and witness statements left little room for dispute. The case settled out of court for $120,000. Morrison was also required to complete 100 hours of racial bias, education, and community service. Her lease was broken, and she left Boston for Ohio, struggling to find comparable work. Her name became shorthand for the cost of weaponizing 911 against Black neighbors. The incident's reach extended into city policy. The Boston Police Department opened a review of how racially motivated calls are handled. Housing advocates pushed for new ordinances, and property managers across the city began screening for patterns of over-reporting. The viral footage and its aftermath transformed a hallway confrontation into a citywide demand for accountability, leaving Morrison's career and reputation in ruins. Today, Black Americans are still nearly twice as likely as white people to be reported as suspicious in their own neighborhoods. As these calls keep making headlines, the real question is whether we will confront the systems that let bias dial 911. Change starts with seeing who truly belongs.